When we configure DHCP, the scope is the primary configuration component. In the scope, I will define the range of IP addresses that I intend to lease to my clients. I'll also define the subnet mask, the default gateway, and the DNS servers that will be leased to clients. It is imperative that those are correct. If the default gateway is incorrect when I configure DHCP, my clients will not be able to connect to any other networks within our environment, nor will they be able to connect to the internet. If I have incorrectly defined DNS servers, or if I do not define DNS server addresses, my clients will not be able to resolve anything by name. That would include any website on the internet, servers internal to our network. Even the ability to log on from the client machine would be hindered if the DNS server addresses are incorrectly configured. We also define the lease duration. The default lease duration, as we will see, is 8 days. So when DHCP assigns you an IP address, that address is leased to you for an 8-day period. DHCP will not lease that IP address to any other device for that duration. If you are in an environment with several mobile devices, laptops, smartphones, tablets that are in the office, then they're out of the office, you may want to set a shorter lease duration. A lease duration can be set to hours, days, depends on our need as to what the proper duration actually is. That can be adjusted at any time. I also have exclusions. If I define a range of IP addresses, and I later decide I want to use one of the IP addresses within that range as a static IP address on some device on the network, maybe a router, a switch, a server, in that range of addresses, I know I just do not want one of these addresses to be leased, but it's in the middle of that range. I simply create an exclusion for that address, or it could be a range of addresses that DHCP will never issue. Now let's take a look at actually configuring the scope.